Hello students, today I am going to start my session with the very important topic of your macroeconomics. The topics are four sectors of the economy and intersectoral flow. Okay, so let's begin our session with the topic four sectors of the economy. From the macro point of view, economy is often divided into four sectors. Okay. In other words, we can call it the economy is based on the four strong pillars, and these pillars are household sectors, producer sectors, government sector, and the external sector. Okay, we will discuss these all topics one by one. The first one is household sector. Children, here you should understand the household sector. This I had already discussed. Household means simply we can call it as a consumer. Okay, consumers are those who are always ready to buy the goods and services to satisfy their wants. So in short, we can call it household sector. It includes consumers of goods and services. Okay, but here I would like to add one more concept. Households are also the owners of the factors of production. Households are the owners of factors of production means it assumes that entire factors of productions are already governed by or controlled by only household. Okay, here what do you mean by factors of production? Factors of production means those kind of factors which will be used for the further process of production. The example is land, labor, capital, entrepreneur, skills. This all will come under the category of factors of production. The second important topic is producer sector. Producer sector, it includes all producing units, firms in the economy for the production of goods and services. It means producer sector will come all kind of activities performed by the producers in the production sector. Okay, so here the firm may be hire or purchase factors of production. It's not necessary that they always purchase. They can hire also. Okay, what they can hire? They can hire the factors of production. The factors of production, here it's clearly mentioned: land, labor, capital, and entrepreneur skills. Whenever producer needs all this kind of factors of production, they can hire from the market or they can purchase from the market. Okay, so from the household, yes, it's clearly mentioned here, households. When producer needs this all kind of factors of production, they have to hire or maybe purchase from the household. The third one is government sector. Okay, government sector includes two important topics: government as a welfare agency and government as a producer. So government as a welfare agency means government performs such welfare function as a law and order and a defense. And government as a producer, there are so many industries run and governed by the government. Okay, the next one is the external sector. External sector can also be called it as a rest of the world sector. Rest of the world, here it's a clearly mentioned, means from one country to another country. When we import the goods or maybe we export the goods, then it will come under the category of external sector. Here it's mentioned, it includes all such activities which are related to exports and import of goods and the flow of capital between the domestic economy and the rest of the world. So this kind of activities are performed from one country to another country. It will come under the heading of external sector. Okay. The next topic is intersectoral flow. Intersectoral flow means how one sector is depend on the another sector. Students, here you should understand, household sectors depend on the producer sector for the goods and services which they need for satisfy their wants, and producer sector is also depends on the household sector for the factors of production, as I said, for land, labor, capital, entrepreneur, etc. Okay, government is also depends on the household sector also and the producer sector also for all different kinds of taxes and revenues. Okay, and all the sectors, household sectors and producer sectors, are also depends on the government sectors for the defense also, for the administrative services also. Okay, for the subsidies also. The one more thing is that this external sector is also depends on the government sector whenever they would like to import and export, they should also get the permission from the government, and they should also have a contact with the producers and the household. So here all sectors are interdependent on each other. Okay, now the last topic is real flows and money flows. Here you should understand what do you mean by real flows. Real flow, it means when the goods and services are transferred from household sectors to the producer sector. Here I am talking about the closed economy. Okay, closed economy, it means there will be only household sector and the producer sector. Okay, so when household sector needs a goods and services, so they can get it from the producer sector. It's a real flow from producer sector to the household sector. And when producer sector needs all kind of factors of production like land, labor, capital, entrepreneur skills, then they will depend on the household sector. So it can call it as a real flow. Now I would like to explain this concept with the help of the picture. Children, here you should understand this picture. There is a picture of real flow in two sectors economy. Okay, here household sector and the producer sector. Household sectors gives factors of production like land, labor, capital, entrepreneurship. Household give these all factors of production to the producer sector. Producer will use it and use it for the purpose of production and produce goods and services and send it to the household sector. So when producer produces goods and services and sell it to the household sector. Okay, so when the factors of production given by household to the producers and producer use it, produce the goods and services and sell it to the household, this we can call it as a real flow. Okay, here it's clearly mentioned. Figure 2 shows real flow in terms of flow of goods sold by the firms to the households and flow of factor services rendered by the households to the producers. Both these flows are real as this involve the movement of goods and services from one sector to the other. Money does not come into the picture. Okay, the next topic is money flow. Money flow, it means when the goods are not there but money is there. Yes, here when household needs goods and services, okay, so goods and services they can get it from the producers. Okay, so when they spend the money or they had done the payment of goods which they purchased from the producer, okay, then it will come under the category of money flow. When household spend the money expenditure on purchase of goods and the money reaches to the producer use this money, and again payment of factor services. Children, here you should understand payment of factor services, it means when producer need to pay, just like they need a land. Okay, so land is a kind of a factors of production. When they get land and they need to pay rent. Okay, when they got a labor they need to give wages. Okay, when they got a capital then they need to pay interest. Okay, and when they got a entrepreneurship, and definitely they have to give them a profit. Okay, so when producer use this all kind of factors of production, then they need to pay all kind of factors of services to the households. So this is also kind of a money flow. Here goods are not there. When producer pay in terms of rent, wages, interest, profit, then money comes to household. Then household pay this money to the producer for purchasing goods and services. Okay, shows according to this figure number 3, it shows that money flow in terms of flow of money from household to the producer for the purchase of goods, and the flow of money from the producers to the household for the purchase of factor services. Each money flow is reciprocal to the real flow. Reciprocal means opposite. So here you should understand from the figure number 2 and figure number 3, the money flow is reciprocal to the real flow. Okay, thank you. Hello students, today I am going to start my session with the topic circular flow of income. Circular flow of income means in every economy, three activities never stop. The first one is production of goods and services. Second one is generation of income in terms of wages, interest, rent and profit. And the third one is expenditure in terms of consumption, expenditure and investment expenditure. In fact, these activities are the lifeline of an economy. The concept of economy does not exist without these activities. It is difficult to trace the beginning of these activities and it is impossible to predict their end. Production, income and expenditure are flow variables. These have been in existence like circle without a beginning or an end. Here you can see the circle. Production chase income generation, income chase expenditure, expenditure chase production. Okay. So these have been in existence like circle without a beginning or an end. Circular flow of income means the circularity of the flows of production, income and expenditure in any economy. In fact, production, income and expenditure are the three phases of a circular flow in the economy. Children, in other words, we can say circular flow of income refers to the unending flow of the activities of production, income generation and expenditure involve different sectors of the economy. The producers and the households in a particular, each activity is the cause as well as consequences of the other activity. Cause and consequences, एक कारण है और दूसरा उसका परिणाम. Production is the reason. Production हो गया. Then producers sell these goods into the economy. Then income generation. This will be the cause and that will be the consequences. When income is generated, households get the income. Okay. Then income turn into expenditure. This will be cause, that will be consequences. When expenditure is done, it means we need more goods, then the demand will be created, then producer need to produce more goods. This will be the cause and that will be the consequences. Okay, so each activity is the cause as well as consequences of the other activity. Production in the producing sector generates income for the households who are owner of the factors of production. Expenditure by the households generates demand for the further production. Accordingly, production, income generation and expenditure keep chasing each other like three dots continuously moving in a circle. Children, here you should understand this concept with the help of this diagram. Okay, this is a diagram, three phases of circular flow. Here you can see first phase, production of goods and services. The producing sector hires or purchases factors of production from the households who are the owners of these factors, land, labor, capital and entrepreneurship. The factor inputs are used along with the non-factor inputs like raw material, etc. For the production of goods and services are produced for the satisfaction of human wants. There is no end of human wants. Accordingly, there is no end to the process of production. When this phase is over, producer producing the goods and services sell it into the market, then automatically we will turn into the second phase. The second phase is generation of income or a distribution of income. In the second phase, it will be also called a phase of distribution. For rendering their factor services to the producer, the households get factor payments, rent for land, interest for capital, wages / salaries for labor and profit for entrepreneurship. Okay, from the viewpoint of the household, there are factor income. Thus, in phase 2 of circular flow, there is a generation of income or a distribution of income as a consequences of the production of goods and services in a phase 1. Now value addition is converted into factor income. So as soon as when a generation of income or a distribution of income is done, then households get their income and they all are ready to spend their money in the third phase, distribution or expenditure of income. Okay, when consumers needs the goods to satisfy their wants, then they need to spend the money. When they spends the money, they buy goods, it means demand is automatically created. When producers comes to know that there is a demand for the goods and services and they are ready to produce the goods. Okay, so again this second phase chases the third phase, the production phase. Okay, so this we can call it as a never ending process. Three dots continuously chasing each other. Production chases generation of income or a distribution of income, and distribution of income chases expenditure. Okay, then expenditure, it means demand creation. Okay, and when expenditure chases the production. So this process will be continuously going on. Okay, now the next topic is this phase, three phases of the circular flow. It will be also called, here you can see, the production chases income generation chases expenditure. Children, this concept is based on this one. Production should be equals to income generated, and income generated should be also equals to the expenditure. Here two types of expenditure, means consumption expenditure plus investment expenditure. This we can also call it triple identity. Okay, this triple identity is based on few assumptions. Okay, the assumptions are there are only two sectors in the economy, namely household sector and the producer sector. The next one is the household spend their entire income so that there are no savings. Third one is the domestic economy is a closed economy so that there are no exports and imports. It means here we are talking about closed economy. It means the rest of world is not included. Okay, and the third and the fourth one is there is no government in the domestic economy. It means government interfere is also not there. Okay, this we can understand through the picture. Okay, here there is a very important picture, circular flow model in a two sectors economy. Children, you should understand, as I told you, there are only two sectors, producer sector and the household sector. As we know that household treated as a owner of all factors of production. So when household sell these factors of production, just like sale of factor services like land, labor, capital, entrepreneurship to the producer. Producer use these all factors of production and done the production, and when production is done, they just repay it. For the land, they have to pay rent. For the labor, they have to pay wages. For the capital, they have to pay interest. For the entrepreneurship, they have to pay profit. It means this one is a real flow and this one is a money flow. Okay, this next one, when producer had done their production and sell these goods and services to the household, it means in a real flow, household use it and done the expenditure or maybe payment was done by the household to the producer in the form of money. So again the money reaches to the producer. So this we can call it as a money flow and that we can call it as a real flow. So this you should understand, this one is also we can call it as a real flow versus money flow or reciprocal to each other. And the last topic is significance of circular flow model. Why we need to study circular flow? What is the importance of it? This you can understand with the two headings. First one is estimation of national income and second one is knowledge of intersectoral interdependency. Estimation of national income, circular flow model facilitate the estimation of national income. National income is a sum total of factor incomes. Children, as you know that factor income is generated from the factors of production. Rent plus profit plus wages plus interest flowing from producers to the households of a country. It may also be defined as the market value of goods and services flowing from producers to other sectors of the economy. Further, it may be defined as the sum total of expenditure on the goods and services produced by the producer sector. The second importance is knowledge of intersectoral interdependency. Children, from the circular flow model, we can understand that how one sector is interdependent on another sector. Okay, that's why also we need to study the circular flow model. A circular flow model helps understand interdependency among different sectors of the economy. We learn how consumers are dependent on producers and how producers are dependent on the consumers. Okay, so now this chapter, I am going to end this chapter, and this one is a revision window. Okay, here you can see, and if you want you can take the screenshot of it. Okay, and you just make your own notes. In my next video I am going to start a new chapter. Thank you.